Amazon Flex? Amazon is accused of underpaying drivers, and that means you could be...
One of the studios right through that wall is where the debate will be happening in a little more than an hour. Nora O'Donnell, Margaret Brennan, of course, moderating the debate between Republican J.D. Vance and Democrat Tim Walz. And then we'll be here in this room afterward to hear from both sides of the argument. And we'll probably get a little bit of that. What he meant to say was, as we often do in spin rooms. And then we'll go from there. And this is essentially the last big tentpole moment of this election.
Right.
Unless for some reason tomorrow, Trump and Harris say, let's do it again.
I mean, this could be the last word, and this could be really the last chance these campaigns have to change the trajectory of the race. I mean, we've been talking about how the past 2 months, so much has happened, but I'm reminded that today is October. What October surprise could come?
Yeah.
We've already had so many summer surprises, so maybe we'll get one tonight, or...
Pull in the notes, because consider this. Vance has only been the vice presidential candidate now for 78 days as of tonight. Walz only 56 days. So neither of these guys terribly well known by the broader American public, even though they're a name and a face now that maybe are known to a lot of Americans. Tonight's their chance to really get a good sense of who they are, what they do, what they've done, and how they are under pressure.
And they were picked in part to kind of appeal to similar voters.
Right.
White, working class voters in the Midwestern states, that blue wall that we talk about all the time. Does tonight move the needle among any in that group? We'll see. But it's fascinating. Could it be more different? But in terms of that sliver that they're trying to attract, we'll see.
Lindsay, 4 hours with you, we'd do it anytime.
Show your art again. Are you available for my kid's next birthday? For her birthday banners?
The graphics department's okay with this. They'd rather use
Watch
theirs,
out.
but this is the low tech. Started during the pandemic. But it keeps going. 35 to go.
Caitlin Huey Burns, Ed O'Keefe, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. That does it for me, but the night's just getting started here at CBS News. The media gathered outside the broadcast center in the heart of New York City, inside the spin room full of surrogates for the vice presidential candidates ready to go to bat for their picks. Down the hall, the stage is set for Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Senator J.D. Vance's first meeting and the only planned VP debate this election cycle. My colleagues John Dickerson and Cecilia Vega are standing in New York's Times Square. They will take over coverage after the break. You're streaming CBS News 24/7.
These are the stories. What a great love. Of we, the people. We're trying to generate our own hope.
It's a huge deal.
I'm enabling them to feel value. Eye on America. Weeknights on the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell. I had progressively fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting. The risk is the rush. What do you think is driving the spike in popularity? I think it's legality.
If it's legal, I'm going to use it. There are ways to bet when you're 18.
You've created an epidemic of child gambling. You can't walk into a male dormitory in a college campus without sports betting happening. It's America's most neglected problem. I use sports betting as a way to escape reality, which is self-destruction. Whatever I have left is mine. The purpose of the industry is to get you to play to extinction. And that means until all your money is gone.
Go to the ends of the earth. Reach for the stars.
Yeah, I just took off. That kind of thing.
That's pretty good. Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
America Decides is your place for fact-based, bias,
Morning at the White House, the Capitol, on the campaign trail. What do you say to those in your party?
Many cracks in the Republican Party. Our reporters, our anchors travel the country talking to voters like you.
About the issues that matter most.
Immigration is really a factor right now.
That are going to be driving your decisions. What would you say to those who say, look, it's just democracy at work?
Listening to you and bringing your voice into our coverage. I want a strong, proud America.
Is democracy on the ballot? Let us help you decide.
America Decides. Stream our expanded 1-hour program Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Exclusively on CBS News 24/7, the streaming home of CBS News.
People with developmental disabilities were once sequestered by the hundreds of thousands in institutions.
Many of our fellow citizens are suffering tremendously because lack of attention, lack of imagination, lack of adequate manpower.
Disability activists have since torn down barriers blocking them from living at home or in the community.
We conclude that Title II of the ADA requires states to provide community-based treatment for persons with mental disabilities.
But of the 16,000 people who remain in state-operated institutions, half are in 5 states, and Illinois is one of them.
I don't want to live in the institution. It makes me feel discriminated against.
Do you think there are people living in institutions in Illinois that don't need to be living there?
Yeah, because they're proving it as soon as they get out.
Eye on America, weeknights on the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell. J.D. Vance, Tim Walz, the CBS News Vice Presidential Debate, moderated by Nora O'Donnell and Margaret Brennan. Tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on CBS.
Center stage for the men who want to be second in command.
Vice presidential debate happens right here on CBS.
I'm looking forward to the debate. I'm sure Governor Walz is looking forward to the debate. Maybe not. But look, on October 1st, we're going to have a little talk, he and I, on the same stage. This is the first formal debate ever held between vice presidential candidates.
Tonight may be sort of a fun evening.
Let me help you with the difference, Ms. Ferraro, between Iran and the embassy in
Let
Lebanon.
me just say, first of all, that I resent Vice President Bush, your patronizing attitude.
I have as much experience in the Congress as Jack Kennedy did when he sought the presidency. Senator, I served with Jack Kennedy. I knew Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy was a friend of mine. Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy. Who am I? Why am I here?
I'd like to start by offering you a deal, Jack. If you won't use any football stories, I won't tell any of my warm and humorous stories about chlorofluorocarbon. It's a deal.
You've got one of the worst attendance records in the United States Senate. The first time I ever mentioned it was when you walked on the stage.
Hey, can I find you? This is a bunch of stuff. Look, here's the deal.
What does that mean, a bunch of stuff?
Well, it means it's simply enact Irish.
Gentlemen,
If you can't meet the Nixon standard,
People at home cannot
you want to have
understand either one of you when you speak over each other.
if you don't mind letting me finish, we can have a conversation, okay?
Please.
Okay.
There's been some speculation that tonight's joint appearance of the vice presidential candidates may be livelier than the presidential meetings. Well, we're about to find out.
We're to turn this whole country red with President Donald J. Trump's leadership.
You know what's at the end of this little journey? Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States.
This is a CBS News special. America Decides, the vice presidential debate.
Good evening, I'm John Dickerson at the CBS News election headquarters in Times Square. The first and only meeting between Ohio Senator J.D. Vance and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz starts in 1 hour.
And I'm Cecilia Vega. Election day is now just 35 days away, and this race continues to be a dead heat. Voting is already underway in some states. The moderators, our own Nora O'Donnell and Margaret Brennan, here in New York at the CBS News Broadcast Center. Tonight is likely to be the last chance for each campaign to make their case on a debate stage. Enthusiasm right now for the Democrats seems to be on the Democrats' side. A CBS News poll finds Democrats are more enthusiastic about having Governor Walz on the ticket than Republicans are about Senator Vance. That is 65 to 49%.
Tonight's lineup testifies to the twists in this race. Senator Vance was chosen to run by former President Trump against a totally different Democratic ticket, and before July, Governor Walz expected he'd be watching his new boss, Kamala Harris, behind the lectern where he now stands. Nora and Margaret are preparing for the debate, but the rest of the gang's here. Chief Washington Correspondent Baker Garrett, Chief White House Correspondent Nancy Portis, Chief Election Campaign Correspondent Robert Costa, and CBS News contributor Ed Gordon.
Major, I want to start with you. Vice presidential debates, the cliche is do no harm, but how do you see this night?
Great to be with you, John and Cecilia. As we contemplate the future of the vice presidency, just a moment to pause to say happy birthday to James Earl Carter Jr., 39th President of the United States, 100 years old today, the first American president to achieve that century milestone. And with today's headlines of Iran's attack on Israel, a reminder that during his presidency, troubled though it was, Jimmy Carter successfully and strenuously achieved some manner of diplomatic breakthrough in the Middle East, Israel and Egypt. It's worth thinking about the vice presidency and the presidency, because every day you hold that office, there will be a memo in your inbox about the Middle East. Now, about tonight and the vice presidential debate. Talking to both campaigns, Trump and Harris, and Democrats and Republicans, they expect this to be a clash between amplified and amiable. Amplified is Senator Vance. Hard-charging, needs to meet the standard that President Trump wants of an attack dog to be aggressive on inflation, immigration, quote-unquote, the world on fire. Amiable, that's Governor Walz. Use that which has already been persuasive to Democrats that he is friendly, approachable, and a formidable person to carry out policy and politics for the leader of the ticket, Kamala Harris.
Bob, I want to bring you in because you have covered the Trump campaign for so long, and I can't help but think as we head into this debate, the history that hangs over this election. We have seen so many firsts in this race, of course, starting with former Vice President Mike Pence, who refused to endorse his former boss. You know this. He also refused to assist in overturning the vote on January 6th. With that hanging overhead, how has the selection of a VP pick this time around been different for this campaign?
Cecilia, history hovers over everything, especially the vice presidency, as it looms on the horizon for both of these men on stage. They could one day become commander-in-chief of this country. Now, some people who run for vice president, you never hear from them again. Former Vice President Dan Quayle, he advised then Vice President Mike Pence in late 2020, early 21, to certify the election, to be part of that process. But you look at history, 1963, LBJ has to step in when Kennedy's assassinated. In August 1974, Gerald Ford wasn't even on the ticket in 1972, has to become President of the United States after just being a House member, then Vice President, and then Pence. He has to deal with a Capitol attack and pressure from former President Donald Trump at that time. So you never know what's on the horizon, and politically, this is a big moment for J.D. Vance. Think about Richard Nixon in 1952, gets on the ticket with Eisenhower, had a rough ride with that experience, had to give the checker speech, as we all know, but he survived. He was on so many national tickets after that, 56, 60, 68, 72. If you're Vance, you're looking ahead and saying, based on my conversations with his advisors, there's a movement there he could become the standard bearer of down the line. Trumpism is looking for somebody to take it over whenever former President Trump leaves the stage. Maybe this is his chance to solidify his standing inside the Republican Party.
Nancy, people like me used to say, presidential debates, they don't matter much. And then we had a presidential debate that mattered quite a lot in this. Yes. So vice presidential debates haven't changed races before, but could this be different? If so, how does it fit into the politics of this race?
I think we've got to change that conventional wisdom this time around that vice presidential debates don't matter, and that's because typically you've got 3 presidential debates that you can watch that voters at home can use to form an opinion. This time around, there's only one between Harris and Trump. It's always possible there could be another one. It doesn't sound like that right now. And so this debate takes on added importance. It's probably the last debate before voters go to the polls. Some of them are already casting their ballots. And so, what these candidates tonight say matters, especially because these are 2 relative newcomers on the national scene. Obviously, folks in Minnesota know Governor Walz very well. He's a 2-term governor. He was a 6-term member of Congress. But voters nationwide had no idea that he was going to even be needed on the ticket. They thought it was going to be Biden and Harris until this summer. And then you've got J.D. Vance. Yes, he wrote a best-selling book, Hillbilly Elegy, but he only became a senator a couple of years ago. And so there's a lot that voters still want to learn about these 2 men, at least according to our polling.
It's a tricky thing to introduce yourself to an entire nation.
In 90 minutes.
Yes, exactly, with somebody yelling at you. Ed, you've been talking to Democrats. What has your reporting been telling you?
Well, I think what we're going to see, and I think Nancy's absolutely right, everything is amplified tonight. And for Democrats, it really isn't about convincing. It's about energizing. They want to keep the momentum that they've seen from the beginning of Harris coming in. She did it with the DNC, with the debate. They're looking for Walz to do the same thing, keep that energy going. They realize that their victory is dependent on voter turnout at the end of the day, particularly in large urban areas. And so they're looking for that momentum to continue tonight.
We're going to check in on that momentum, Ed. We're going to check in now with CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe. He is in the room where journalists are gathered just across the street from the debate studio. Ed, I know you've been following this. The messaging from the Harris camp has been that Governor Walz is nervous heading into the night. Is that true? Is that the team downplaying expectations?
To some extent, downplaying expectations. Cecilia, good evening from the room just next door to where the debate is happening, the spin room here in the CBS Broadcast Center. The Walz team tells us that they've spent the last 4 or 5 days in Michigan preparing for this debate at what they called Camp North Star. That's the nickname of his home state of Minnesota, but it's also a mindset they want him to keep. Be himself, that folksy, plain-spoken governor that has earned quick attention and over the last 56 days become the Democratic running mate. The idea being that if he can talk about defending the Harris agenda, talk about what he's done as governor, keep it nice, hopefully it works. Notably, he's been rehearsing for tonight's debate alongside the Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, a Democrat known to the country over the last several years as someone who does a good job of speaking to Republicans. The idea was to bring in someone who's able to talk to Midwestern voters, moderate voters, Republicans, especially occasionally on Fox News, and make sure that Tim Walz is fine-tuning his message to that audience, hoping that he can win skeptics in the Midwest, maybe in his home state of Nebraska, to vote for Harris in November. And throughout the night, they'll be closely watching to see how personal potentially J.D. Vance gets. Does he bring up the attacks, for example, on Walz's military record? There was a lot of scrutiny of that at the beginning of his candidacy. Note that 86% of voters in our polling say they want to hear this to be a debate about issues, not about the personal. And if it goes into his military record, Democrats are going to pounce on Vance for going low. Cecilia?
Yeah, we see if they stick to that, Ed. We're going to be checking in with you throughout the evening.
And I want to bring in CBS News political correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns. Caitlin, former President Trump said he didn't do any formal practice before his debate. What was J.D. Vance's approach?
John, it has been very different than what Donald Trump's debate has been. J.D. Vance has been very much preparing for tonight in a variety of different ways. I'm told that they have been doing what they are called murder board sessions, Zoom calls, sessions with top advisors, and also including his wife, Usha Vance. He has also done a mock debate with Congressman Tom Emmer, who is from Minnesota, standing in the role of Governor Tim Walz. And I'm told that he really got into character, that he had studied all of the opposition research against not only Vance, but also against Walz, and had brought that to those mock debates. I'm also told that J.D. Vance himself spent a lot of time watching debate footage of Governor Walz. And the Vance team is also trying to set expectations high for their opponent, saying that he is a practiced debater. But at the same time, they've also played up the way in which Vance has been conditioning himself in preparation for tonight, holding press conferences regularly on the campaign trail, going on national television interviews, including on the Sunday shows. They believe that he is well positioned because he is used to kind of taking incoming fire, and that could help him for tonight. But what I'm watching for in terms of this are a couple of points for Vance. He is underwater in terms of likability in our polling. Can he make that up tonight? And he is also facing, as Donald Trump is, a significant gender gap, with women overwhelmingly supporting Kamala Harris and that ticket. So we will see whether he sees tonight as an opportunity to try to change any of that, or if the focus is on trying to take down Walz and, by extension, Kamala Harris as well, John.
All right, as we come on the air this evening, there continues to be the breaking news out of the Middle East in the wake of Iran's missile attack on Israel. The escalating conflict sure to be a topic tonight. CBS News foreign correspondent Chris Livesay joins us now live from Tel Aviv. Chris, Israel is promising retaliation. What is the latest on the ground where you are tonight?
Good evening, Cecilia. Well, Israelis have been bracing for a major retaliation after the recent assassinations of Hamas and Hezbollah leaders. Tonight, that retaliation finally came. Some 180 missiles lit up the night sky as Israel intercepted most of them, sending red-hot shrapnel floating like embers from the Western Wall in Jerusalem to here in Tel Aviv. There was one reported death in the occupied West Bank, and some minor injuries due to falling debris were also reported. And in a conspicuous turn, just moments before the missile barrage, there was an apparent terrorist attack here at a Tel Aviv train station where two men opened fire with assault rifles, killing at least 7 and wounding 8, police say. All this violence is set against the backdrop of a widening war. In the past 24 hours, Israel launched what it calls a limited ground offensive into southern Lebanon, targeting Hezbollah rocket positions that have wreaked havoc across Israel's north for nearly a year. Now, this is Iran's second direct attack on Israel this year. How Israel responds to this latest barrage could determine the direction of the widening war and whether the U.S. gets dragged into it. John?
Chris, Nancy, this has taken us to the center of the presidency, and of course the vice presidency is the understudy for the presidency. But you cover the White House. These are the kinds of issues that, as Major said, are in the inbox every day. This is not only an issue that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have to handle, it's the one the next president's going to have to handle.
Right, and so that gets to foreign policy, it gets to temperament, goes to relationships, because all of those things are important when you're talking about global hotspots and the issues that either candidate is going to have to face if they are in the Oval Office. And when it comes to J.D. Vance and Tim Walz, neither of them has what you would consider classic foreign policy experience. Tim Walz, he sat on the Veterans Affairs Committee when he was in Congress. He was pretty high-ranking. He served in the military for 24 years, as we've been discussing. But nothing beyond that you would say, okay, he is really practiced on the world stage. And the same thing goes for J.D. Vance. He served in the Marines for 4 years. That's about it. So these candidates will have to show tonight that they understand the world that they would be inheriting as vice president, and that they are prepared to meet the moment. But I think what I'm being told, at least by the Harris-Walz campaign, and I think it's probably the same for Vance and Trump, and you'd know better, Robert, but they really believe that voters at the end of the day are by and large going to be making a decision based on domestic issues, based on the economy, based on immigration, based on abortion. And so those are the types of issues that they plan to focus most heavily on tonight.
All right, guys, we are now less than 45 minutes away from the debate, so let's dive into the rules agreed to by both vice presidential candidates. Here they are. The debate runs 90 minutes with 2 breaks. There will be no opening statements. Closing statements are 2 minutes each. Just like last month's debate between Vice President Harris and former President Trump, there will be no audience, and this time, mics will not be muted, but CBS News could decide to turn off the mics if the candidates talk over each other. There was a virtual coin flip last week. Senator J.D. Vance won the toss and chose to have the final closing statement. Governor Walz then chose to stand at the right lectern.
And coming up, we'll head to Western Pennsylvania to check in on the tightening presidential race there. Plus, we'll look at both candidates' paths to victory.
All the consequences of today's actions come to fruition, and have mercy on us all.
So why do you say Iran has, so your title proves that? You're contradicting.
No, they do have the right to defend themselves if they keep...
Fuck you, don't talk about my country. Fuck you, talk about your fucking children.
Diego, are you dumb? He's an Iranian. You're Diego, a Latin guy. He's Iranian. He knows better than you. Today is a holiday.
Did you see what happened in the occupied West Bank when Iranian rocket fell on top of poor Palestinian man? He died in the streets. It was horrible. I cannot believe what I have seen.
Israel's not a real country. It doesn't have a right to defend itself.
What you're doing, Diego, is wrong.
Millions of
First of all, the IRGC is not Iran. A bunch of fucking terrorists occupied Iran and they're doing shit in the name of Iran. So,
I'm not gonna lie, I
first of all, IRGC, whatever they did, is not Iran. Alright? You should have said IRGC has a right to defend, and I will come here and say, no, fuck you. IRGC is a terrorist group.
You're more of a fan of the Shah, who was critical of the Jews.
You don't live in Iran. No one cares about
I will, I'm just sharing your room. I will report the shit out of your room. You're fucking banned in 2 hours.
I'm considering myself. Israel doesn't have a right to defend itself. We can say this all the time. It doesn't matter. Fuck.
No, that's okay. I'll see him in Tehran.
I hate to break the bad news to you, but they're not going to kick Diego for this room title because, you know, there's not enough Jew hate in the title.
You want me to spice it up? Beautiful title.
Where is T-Robs? He is one vehement, angry man. I mean, have you ever heard T-Robs ever be happy?
Well, he was born in the middle of a similar situation to the Palestinians.
Oh, he was. I see. What in North? I don't know the whole Northern Ireland story.
Dublin.
Diego, we're more hospitable.
I agree.
Fucking Arabs, you enjoy this, huh? Israel gonna retaliate and kill you.
You're very
fucking Arabs. You fucking lizard motherfuckers.
Usually lizard epithets are reserved for Jews, though.
Then suck lizards there in the desert.
Princessia, your PTR is looking amazing. You are working out a lot. It's really showing results.
Can you guys play some Iranian music right now?
Yeah, let's play the Shema, the Farsi version.
You enjoying this,
Of course, Iran has every right to defend itself against aggression. Why not? I don't understand. What's the problem?
I got something better than that.
Why do you talk about my God?
100 rockets. That was the best they could do. They killed one Palestinian. That was it.
Why do you talk about
When did I talk about your fucking shit,
I mean, Diego, is this really self-defense when you kill one Palestinian with 100 rockets? They don't stand a chance. This is like a fireworks show. Have you guys ever been to a 4th of July fireworks show and seen all the big mortar rounds going off? That's all that happened here. One Palestinian in the West Bank died from a rocket fuselage. That was it.
Do you remember the phrase from the movie Predator where he goes, if it bleeds, we can kill it?
That's
Yeah.
right.
I do remember that. That was a great movie.
I said that in the other big rip and they didn't like it. Fucking niggers and Arabs up to
Yo, yeah.
You
You
shit
should
on
report
Iran,
Diego to the name
motherfucker.
that you're a racist Iranian. You live in this
Of course I'm
You
racist.
have no
Fuck
power.
all
You have no
Arabs.
power.
Fuck Arabs.
You know, you guys do realize that Diego is a Ukrainian neo-Nazi. You guys are in a neo-Nazi's room. I mean, he's a Ukrainian neo-Nazi. Why are you guys even here?
Ukrainian, he's probably a Frankist.
He's a Frankist. He's perfectly frank about it.
Francisco Franco. Well, I'm always frank and earnest with women. In New York, I'm frank and LA, I'm earnest.
He doesn't care if Israel burns or Iran burns. He doesn't care, and neither does Rabbi McDickerson. This is all about making dollars.
Let them kill each other. Imagine.
There's never been a peace movement. I hate to break the bad news to you. It was all a lie.
I like your PTR,
Yeah, the Shuki had. I saw that on Shuki's PTR. I screenshotted Shuki's. Look at Benjamin Netanyahu's powerful arms. I mean, he's really been doing a lot of HGH.
Good joke, Paul.
You do realize that Israel's going to win the war because they've gotten Iranians playing pickleball, and pickleball is so popular they don't even know how to shoot rockets out of rocket launchers anymore. They're all playing pickleball in Tehran. Pickleball! Can you believe it? The Iranians are crazy about pickleball.
Let's see how many F-35s they mounted when they're on the ground.
Listen, did you guys see what 59 Hamas members did? Imagine what 100,000 Iranians will do.
What, are they gonna all leave their country, go open shawarma stands around the globe and ignore the Ayatollah because he's a loser? Please, have you seen his YouTube channel? It's pathetic.
Did you guys see what 59 Hamas members did to Israel? Imagine 100,000 fucking Iranians.
Shut up, nigger. Fucking nigger. Muslim support.
Wow, you're very healthy. Wow.
He is supporting killing people. Fuck his
You're a
race.
Zionist, you stupid fuck. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but Jews aren't human, bro, so it doesn't count.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like when Donald Trump becomes president and evicts 30 million illegal aliens and we all get to arrest him and put him on planes and fly him to your shithole country? With you included?
Most of them are niggers. Yeah, deport the niggers.
No hard N-word, sir, please. We're live streaming this to OnlyFans. No hard R. Say the N-word, sir.
Call them what they are. They are fucking niggers.
Listen, Malik Obama, Barack Hussein Obama's cousin, is voting for Trump. He's rooting for Trump. Look up Malik Obama on X and you're going to love it. It's still awesome.
Swifty, what is the height difference between the average Persian man and the average Israeli man?
The Persians are like 2 foot tall because they don't eat food.
That's not true.
We both want to destroy the Iranian regime. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Listen, the Persian rug industrial complex is an old legacy business. You can't get rid of the Persian rugs. You can't get rid of the Persians.
Atras, we are going to save you. It's going to be biblical.
Of course I know. These fucking Christians love the Jews and they kill each other.
Is it true that the Iranians were holding parties celebrating the death of Hassan Nasrallah? From Esfahan, from Tehran, they were all applauding the death of Nasrallah. Is it true?
Because you're a Sunni fucking Muslim. I know you're tired.
Huh?
No, Diego.
You mean Sunnis and Shias don't get along?
Of course they don't.
No, only
savages.
he's with us. He's with us. He's a Iranian that hates the regime. But Diego is an asshole. After we destroy
Diego is a motherfucker.
he will have to open the rooms
Look
about
at the
vegans.
title.
Diego's the best.
Shut up, you Muslim woman. Shut up.
I don't think she's a Muslim woman. Dumbass.
Muslim women belong to the
He
pigeon.
sounds like a fucking Muslim.
Muslim women belong to the pigeon. and
See, you gentlemen don't understand. I've met Don Diego at the gas station, and I have to say he's a Bitcoinologist, a praxeologist, and though he may hate the Jews, he's a neo-Nazi Ukrainian nationalist who kidnapped a woman and her 2 children, and he's a former paralegal who hates lawyers. So look out! This man's a Bitcoin maximalist.
The story just keeps growing. But listen, the reason that Israel has not retaliated immediately is because they're afraid of missing.
Oh, do you think so? You are an expert. I didn't know you. Tell me 10 cities in Israel. You are an expert in Israel. Tell me names of 10 cities in Israel.
Why don't you
And
name
you have 10
something?
seconds to answer. 1, 2, you don't know. So you don't know.
Why
You-
don't
you-
you
I want.
name
Hey,
something?
let's do one better.
Team in a fuck.
Let's do one better. Swifty,
Diego,
I've gone to
Diego
Israel.
Armando Maradona.
I've gone to Israel. I want you to tell me
¿De
when
dónde
it was.
eres? ¿Hablas español?
Quiero que me digas cuándo fue.
Ah,
Fui a
sí,
Israel.
hijo de puta
So
latino.
you're a Spanish Muslim.
Go back to Latin America, you don't belong. Look at you, look at you.
Fucking Muslim. Yeah, son of a bitch, I got you.
He support Maduro. He support Maduro. This is socialist
You all have
idiot.
some respect.
Hijo de puta, shut up, woman. Shut up, you Muslim woman.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, Muslim woman, and go to the kitchen.
Very ignorant.
You will
You guys
respect
are
me.
How many times
You
your
guys like
husband
5
has
feet
beaten you
tall.
today?
You have no friends.
Muslim
You
shit.
have respect for
Diego,
yourself.
Oh, Soren's here.
what's going on in the Middle East? You have seen
Why are the Israelis still killing children in Gaza?
Latino.
Soren's about to
How many children have Israel killed in Gaza today?
Atrás. Do you know Soren? He's in
Iranian agent, by the way.
His name is Pedram. Fuck him. He's a son of a bitch.
They had to send all the IDF back to Israel today.
Swifty, how many JDAMs did Israel drop in Lebanon when they killed Nasrallah? I heard it was a big hole they dug out.
86 tons of
86 tons? Oy vey, how many is that in kilotons? How many pounds of dynamite per kiloton?
By the way, it's only the beginning. They don't understand that we are going to destroy their root. They don't understand it. They don't understand that we are going to take the land of south of Lebanon to us.
Oh my God! Think of the expansions. Oy vey, the beautiful new condo buildings.
Of course. We have Gaza.
Strawberry fields, lemon fields, pomegranates, olive trees. Oy, the land is so beautiful.
And by the way, I want Syria too. I want Jordan. I want Syria. I want Sinai back to me.
Ooh, you want the Hashemite kingdom. Rabbi McDickerson's not gonna be happy. That's his land.
Listen,
Iraq.
even though you may live in the Middle East, you know, your Polish ass is never going to be able to embody the anger of an Arab, okay?
Actually, I'm Iraqi. I'm not Polish. I'm Iraqi. I'm from Iraq.
Yeah, see, that's why he wants Iraq. He's Iraqi. He wants it back, and he's not happy with the regime because they're Islamic extremists.
Listen to me. Allah punished the Muslims in 1967. He gave Al-Aqsa to the Jewish people. Allah decided to leave Islam.
But, you know, it's not as good as Mecca, though. I say we go to Mecca. I say we take Saudi Arabia, too, when we take Jordan and Iraq. Think of the oil. Think of the oil. $100 trillion worth of oil. It could be all of ours. We could take it.
Edmund, do you have to use that voice?
Do you have to use that voice?
Yeah. Swifty, keep talking so we can hear the bombs in the background. All you have is Othello, little nigger. Give me your address and let's see how brave you are.
Swifty, why didn't Egypt take back Gaza after the 1973 war or 7-day war? Why didn't Egypt want the Gaza?
I will tell you because they hate the Palestinians.
But why? Why? They're Arabs. They're fellow Arabs.
Two reasons. They hate the Palestinians. God made them hate the Palestinians, so he bring it back to us. You know?
But is there really such a thing as a Palestinian? I mean, honestly.
No. They're a bunch of Arabs. Bedouins.
So what's the Oh, they're Bedouins.
Bunch of Arabs.
They're Bedouins. Because I've seen what some of these people look like. They look like they have teeth of a goat. They're very almost. They look like ancient humans. Something ancient, like Neolithic.
You want to know? We see here in Israel many Muslims who fuck sheep and goats in the ass.
Oy vey.
They love to fuck them. Yeah. I don't know what is the fetish of the Muslims, Arabs, to fuck goats. Are you guys really indigenous to Israel?
Shut up, Negro shit.
Are you guys indigenous to Israel or the Caucasus Mountains?
I know.
You're a slave.
You know what I think is really funny about the. Hold on, gentlemen. I want to talk about the Khazarian conspiracy theory real quickly, because if the Khazarian conspiracy theory is true, and that means the Khazarians are technically in control of Israel. Do you know how stupid that sounds? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, you don't look Polish to me. You do look a little Turkey. If you ask me. I met your person.
No, but I mean, once you go to Israel, that you know that they're not Khazarians because it's a highly mixed population. And for example, Swifty is Iraqi, so you have all these Sephardic Jews which are not Khazarians, and they're the ones who really control Israel.
Okay,
Iraqis, we hate the most the Arabs and Muslims.
So,
Because we know who they are. I'm not
Gentlemen,
Polish, I'm not European. I have nothing to do with Europeans.
gentlemen, the reason that Israel is not sending a couple of F-35 right now to drop some, ballistic nuclear weapons on Iran is because if Iran knocks down a couple of Israeli jets and the myth is destroyed of how powerful they really are,
Ladies and gentlemen,
you might have like
I'm recording
15 nations
now.
attack them at the same time.
Okay, you're an expert.
Mark my words.
Ladies and gentlemen, Diego is an expert, military expert, Air Force expert, and Middle Eastern expert.
Swifty, how much do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet?
Over Diego now.
In
What
5
is-
days,
I'm recording him.
in 5 days, listen, you can, let's put money on it, Swifty. Let's put money on it. In 5 days, Israel will do nothing against
Okay,
Iran.
you say that
How much
Israel
you
will
wanna
do nothing, and I say that Israel. Wait a second. It's interesting. You say that Israel won't do anything, and I say that
5
Israel
days.
will. Okay.
5 days, there will be
No,
no
5 days.
counter attack on
weeks.
Iran.
2 weeks.
What are you guys gonna bet? $10 or $1 or a penny?
Listen to me. $2,000.
$2,000.
Diego, he's not worth your money.
$2,000.
Whoa, that's a big bet. That's a big bet.
$2,000 that I say that Israel will attack. $2,000.
I'll give anybody in this room 1 to 100 odds.
You won't be alive to make the bet.
No. In 2 weeks.
No, he
In
said
the 2 weeks, Israel will.
I said 5 days.
No,
No. So
I'll bet you $1. I'll bet you $1, Don Diego. Put me in for $1.
Diego admits that Israel eventually will attack because he gave only 5 days.
Put me in for $1, Don Diego. Tell your secretary I'm in for $1.
Diego, he's a coward because now he has admitted that Israel is going to attack. Oh.
Yes, but do you understand how weak they look? If they don't attack in a week,
Ladies and
if
gentlemen,
they don't attack in a week, the fact that they don't attack within a week, the fact that they don't attack the next day shows that they have signs of weakness, okay? It's just a fact.
But
because they have brains, they're
look
about
how
to make a
changes
plan. Fuck
He
you.
changes the version because he said Israel will not attack, and now he changed it. It will attack, but
No,
in 6
he
days.
said 7
It's
days.
hesitating.
Diego, are you out of your mind? Do you know how bad Israel has already attacked? Israel killed one of their generals in Lebanon. Israel killed 2,500 over there, 5,000. Israel is kicking their asses. This is the response. This is the response to Israel's attack.
Do you want that? 5 days.
Put me in for $1.
Oh, he's proposing the bet. He proposed the bet. 5 days. I'm proposing the bet. I'm proposing the bet, not you. You're my slave. I'm a Jew. No. I tell you what to do. I tell you what to do. You don't. I'm not the one betting, motherfucker. I'm the Jew.
Swifty, when are they promoting you to a general? I hear Benjamin Netanyahu knows you by name, and he's making you a tank commander. Mazel tov and l'chaim.
Lou, if they don't attack by the end of Sunday, it will show a level of weakness that we've never seen with Israel.
We will attack whenever we want. We choose. Okay, you don't tell us.
Swifty, how big is your nuclear arsenal, Swifty? How many nuke bombs do you have on rockets and on bombs from planes? And what about your submarines? Do your submarines have nuclear missiles?
If they send a ballistic missile, Lou, and they get it knocked down by another Iron Dome,
I want they have surprise. I want them to have the surprise. So let them imagine. Don't tell them anything. Don't give them information about Israel.
Why does he
Make them believe. Make them believe that we are weak. Yeah, we are weak. We are weak. We don't have any weapons. Okay? Iran is strong. This is my message for you. Just wait. Israel is very weak. We don't have any weapons.
I think that we're gonna find out that Iran has an Iron Dome of their own, and they're gonna shoot down this shit.
Iran is amazing.
It's gonna get very interesting.
Super powerful. Israel is
Why do you think that? They've got Russian SAM systems. They've got Russian SAM systems, and those things may not be that good anymore. They give the Iranians all the old Russian shit. Iran has nothing new, and Iran is dedicated to just building rockets and drones now because they know there's no such thing as a land war anymore. This is a troll war. This is how many fucking zits can you pop, And look what happened. They killed one Palestinian in the West Bank. If that's the response to what they did to them in Lebanon and what they just did in Yemen, I mean, for God's sakes, like, this is nothing. Israel's fucking dancing in the streets. They're happy as could be. Nothing happened.
Israel doesn't have hypersonic ballistic missiles, does it?
Hypersonic. I went to eat ice cream. Yeah? So where is the Iranian crazy missiles? If I went to eat ice cream later.
Did you get gelato, swirl? Did you get sprinkles on top, crushed walnuts?
Gelato. Really, I swear, I went to eat ice cream.
Iranians are afraid of this attack because they know Israel's gonna retaliate.
Only thing that happened is a mass shooter in Jaffa. 2 assholes with rifles. 2 fucking faggots that got their heads blown off by citizens armed.
Iranians are not afraid of Israel's retaliation because they're already hesitating.
I am an Iranian. I live in Iran, so shut the fuck up.
Ooh.
Listen.
دلم برات خیلی تنگ شده.
You don't know Iran. You don't live in Iran.
We like Fesanjun. We love your food. And your women are very pretty.
Well. Diego, whatever you're doing is very bad for this region, alright? The Islamic Republic has finished. Netanyahu said it last day. When he gave his speech
So who's going to take control of the new government? And is it going to be more authoritarian?
I don't know. No. It might be monarchy. It might be.
I say we make Soren the president of Iran. Soren, what would you do for the Iranian people on day number 1?
Many people want monarchy. Many people want secular republic. And yeah, it's gonna be better than fucking.
When the Shah of Iran was kicked out, he came to my family's house and stayed for like a couple of months.
You came to your family's house?
Yeah.
Where, in France?
Mexico.
Mexico? Are you talking about the son or the actual
He
Shah?
was such a pussy. He just ran away. Yeah, he was a pussy.
He was a pussy?
Which family members were with him?
I don't know the.
Shut up, woman. Talk about your shit all Palestine. Don't talk about Iran. I was
Damn.
gonna fuck your ass.
Ooh, I would too. Look at that booty.
You heard it here. You got Diego and Princessa in the same room.
Listen, Princessia worships the ground that Diego walks on, and he didn't even mod her. I mean, how disrespectful, I gotta say. Princessia, this man doesn't love you. He's a taken man. He's married to a beautiful Ukrainian woman from the city of Kyiv. You know, no matter how hard you try, he'll never, ever commit infidelity. I swear he'll never be an adulterer. He's a good man. I saw the goodness in his eyes at that gas station that one day.
Arab women look ugly. They look like fucking
So that only leaves you with a bald-headed Jew to make love to, Princessia. I will fill the void in your heart with my Talmud Chacham and my Shmekel from Hashem, Rabbeinu Shalom.
So, Diego, do you know which family members in Mexico?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, which of my family?
Yeah.
My mom met him too. So check this out. So this is on my dad's side. But since my mom was Miss Mexico,
She's hiding his
she met him too.
It's so fucking
He was on the door.
like
What is it again?
That both sides of my family
you look
before
fucking
marriage.
ugly. You look like fucking lizard.
Go ahead, Diego. I can't hear
My mom is here. Hey mom, you met the Shah of Iran, right?
Fuck the Shah of Iran and fuck the Mullahs. It's gonna be a republic.
How old was she when she met him?
How old were you when you met the Shah of Iran? 21.
Has Shah fucked your mom?
There you go.
What did they think? Like, what was like?
What did you think, mom? You knew he was in exile? He said I was 21. I was an idiot.
You was a pussy. Like Palestine.
Mom, were you taller than him? Oh.
It was the guy that said stuff about Arab women. I just want to see you guys to look at their PTR. What do you guys think about her?
Who is that? She's so ugly. She's hiding her face.
Yeah, she's ugly.
Diego, how long did he stay with your family?
months.
Another
wow.
liberal shit.
What's up, my dad?
Muslims are destroying your fucking country.
She's in your community.
My mom said she met this woman. Hold on, I'm gonna post her. And she said that she was very beautiful. She was very impressed. Hold on. Let me see her. One second.
Fuck your mother.
Can you guys believe that most Jewish women look like this? Ew.
Trust, why are you a nigger?
I think you're wrong.
I
honey.
would
mean,
fucking
the
kill
nose is
myself
kind of small.
if I was a nigger.
So if that is what? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's who my mom's talking about.
She talks about her being.
Pahlavi.
By the way, Shah was a man.
Either
I'm sure he fucked your ground. I'm sure.
you don't like the Shah either? Is that it?
Yeah, we want like republic. We want to fuck Muslims.
You don't like the Muslims? You know,
of course not. The
Well, wait a
80% of Iranian youths are against fucking Islam. We're gonna destroy Islam. Islam is the target.
Listen, I'm
dying now. 180 missiles today, 300 tomorrow.
Shut up, nigger. Fucking negro shit. Where's your country? Where are you from? Your ancestors were fucking slaves.
But you're on your knees right now.
You're a fucking slave.
You're on your fucking
will never
knees right
be a
now,
master.
and I'm rich in America. I'm rich in America.
Yes,
You're in a bomb shelter.
Where is your country? You don't like America.
I'm rich right now. You barely
You think you're rich. You're controlled by white men. Always. Yeah. How much is your net worth? 1 million,
You're in
2
a bomb
million,
shelter
how
right
much?
now. You're in a bomb
How
shelter
much?
right
How
now.
much? Alright. How much is your net worth? Nigger. How much wealth is considered rich for you? 1
How
million?
many missiles did they drop today? It's just the first day.
Hey, Othello, do you know what his name means in
I
Spanish?
live in Iran, nigger.
Okay, well, that whole region will get blown off the map. Fuck it.
Okay. No, dude. That's what I'm trying to say to you, Othello. Like the fact that they haven't.
Muslims are gonna fucking destroy your country. That's what's next. Wake up, nigger.
Destroying something is not a positive thing. We need to.
Every hour that Israel fails to retaliate is a sign of weakness, extreme weakness. Every hour.
It's just the beginning. You know, all the countries around there, they're gonna get, man, they're all gonna focus their missiles.
Yeah, but Jordan, there was a Jordanian that was killed by an Iranian rocket attack yesterday. So I'm sure the king of Jordan is not happy about that.
Trump told you guys, Israel won't be there in 2 years. I think it's gonna be less time.
Fuck you, Israel will be there always. And it's gonna be a great end of Iran.
Trump told you guys what's gonna happen. They all
Fuck you.
Well, we'll see what J.D. Vance says.
It's not gonna be one person left standing. The whole region's gonna be blown to shit. And all your
You might be right. You might be right.
And make a country.
Yeah, but if you talk to like anybody who lives in like Qatar or Bahrain or the UAE, I mean they're fine. They're living their lives and they're doing amazing. So like.
Yeah, this fucking nigger is stupid. He don't know shit.
What I don't understand is why does anyone think that Israel will lose? Israel will not lose. It's a bunch of very smart white people with the best weapons in the world. Why would they lose? I don't understand. Who thinks Israel's gonna lose? Israel, they got the best of the best.
I think Othello's right. Othello, have you ever seen the end of the movie V for Vendetta?
Like yeah, well.
Whatever you
Switch that, man. Your mic's all weird now. From a Negro story.
That's because too many people don't mute up when I'm speaking.
That's because he's live streaming.
Otello, your story is why you pursue white women? You hate your own race? That's why your name is
You guys
Otello?
are ignorant
Nah,
too,
he just
man.
has
You
taste.
guys are ignorant over there.
Ignorant? Man, you indignant. You sound like an N-word and you indignant.
Rico, are you watching the Rangers game, by the way?
Don't divert to sports now. The JD Vance Waltz debate is about to begin. Tampon Tim, the cum drinker from Horse Seaman, versus JD Vance, the Skull and Bonesman Marine Corps Sergeant. Let's get ready to rumble! The coach of joy and folksiness versus the agent of chaos, JD Vance! Jew for Jesus? A Jew for Jesus? Oy vey! How did you know? Who told you? How did you know? Who told you? Oh no, who told you my secret of the good news of joy and happiness? Oh, you mean I'm happy and gay? Oopsie! You know, my mom asked me if I was gay the other day. I was like, you fucking bitch. But then I realized, I think I've asked her if she's gay before, so I was like, I can't get really angry at her because I've made fun of her for being gay too. So, you know, Rabboni Shalom.
That's the king.
I got this new book. It's called Troll King. It was outlawed during the Nuremberg. What?
Let me pause. I want to ask Rico, and then I'm going to go to Mr. Anderson. Rico, what do you think about today's bombing in Israel?
Yeah, I don't really see a problem.
Whoa. Wait, are you okay with Okay, spicy take, Mr. Anderson. Wait, why? Okay, Rico, you don't have to say, but if you want to say, like, why are you pro dropping bombs on civilian populations?
I don't think I'm pro that. I just think that like Israel generally has like a lot of things coming to them. And, like they piss off a lot of people in the world, and like what are they expecting to solve?
So it's their fault.
I don't particularly. Yeah, if you punch somebody in the face, it's your fault when you get punched back. Yes, but no one in my lifetime has deserved it.
When was the last time you ever heard anyone in the news ever even mention Northern Ireland? I've never even heard anyone mention the word Northern Ireland in my whole fucking life.
Gentlemen. Okay, so no one has deserved it more.
I don't particularly like to see bombings going on in war, but no one has deserved it more in my lifetime.
Okay, but Rico, can I ask you a question? So Israel never bombed Iran, so like, why is Iran bombing Israel?
Isn't the argument that they have like killed a bunch of Palestinians and like basically like genocide?
Well, the last time I checked, a Palestinian is not an Iranian.
Well, you have to look, David. It's because Israel killed some of the top leaders in Iran, right?
Like terrorists? And they bombed military bases.
Right.
Wait, don't allies, motherfucker. Yeah, don't and trading partners. Don't the Muslims view each other as like one nation anyway? Like Iran, Palestinians, all the same shit. No?
They've been doing little shit. Israel has been doing little shit for the past few months and waiting for Iran to respond. Have you guys been living under a rock?
But Iran already responded in April and didn't.
You don't tell them when to. They're not gonna call you for big time and say, "Hey, listen, we're gonna respond once." They respond on their time. They're not your friends.
Well, there's no downside for Iran to wait as long as they did. There's a huge downside for Israel to wait 1 day, 2 days, 5 minutes to retaliate. The most advanced militaries in the world.
Please pause. Breaking news from Israel and Iran. This is Israel's response. The Shema in Sephardic.
Ready to start eating healthier? Meet Kachava.
Meet Kachava.
Kachava is the
Kachava is so healthy for you.
לאדוני אלוהינו הרחמים והסליחות לאדוני אלוהינו הרחמים והסליחות אל נא תשת עלינו חטאת חטאנו צורנו סלח לנו יוצרנו סלח לנו יוצרנו שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד
Revenge is mine. She took them. Adam, you made it for your father when you were young. A token of your love which you thought he threw away. But he kept it all those years. He kept it. And now he needs your help. I should have believed you.
You believe me
I'll always believe in you.
you're Alice but if my family is alive why have they not come home
Because they're being held captive by the only person cruel enough to keep them locked up all these years.
bloody pig I'm going to find that Red Queen and bring my family home
Revenge.
What a stupid movie. All right, so we're gonna listen to the JD Vance Waltz debate.
Which side has more home runs?
Oh, hey, did you know you could use an FSA account or HSA account to reach your wellness goals?
There's two terms. He's there to enhance the ticket as it exists and amplify things on the positive side where and when he can. Very different calculations, very different risk factors for the two.
And Bob, even if you're